Hi, welcome to Petradot, and in this lesson we are going to be talking about StringBuilder. Recall that in our last lesson we discussed about string, and we said that a string is a representation of a sequence of characters, and string is immutable, meaning that any string object created in Java cannot be changed. So anytime the user tries to do something like replace or change anything on the text, to the person you're updating the string, but no, you're not updating the text. You're actually creating a new object. Anytime you do something like replace, what the Java thing does is to create a new object of that string and then just recreate it. So, but then there is a way to create a mutable string, a string that can be changed. That is where the StringBuilder and the StringBuffer comes in. So StringBuilder is a mutable sequence of characters. It can be modified after creation, unlike the normal traditional string, right? So to create a StringBuilder, you have something like this StringBuilder, call it StringBuilder equals to new StringBuilder, and you can pass in first maybe the initial text. You can pass in the initial text that it will contain, right? So the idea behind StringBuilder is to handle performance issue. Let's say, for example, you are looping through an iteration and you want to be updating a particular text while you're doing that loop. Imagine you're going to loop for like say 10 times. So if you're using string, means you're going to be creating 10 objects, which will really slow the speed. So the performance will not be really good like that. But StringBuilder makes it easy because it is faster, right? So it runs better on StringBuilder and gives a better performance. That is where the StringBuilder comes in. So anytime you are updating the text in this StringBuilder, you are actually updating, not creating a new object. So the StringBuilder object or class has default methods that you can use to manipulate the text that the StringBuilder is holding. And how do you access that? Just type the name of the StringBuilder you created and just press dot, and you can access all of them. Like we have the append. So in normal string, we use the plus sign to do concatenation. That is something like this, where we have our plus to do concatenation. But it is slower than this. Append here in StringBuilder is faster, right? So if we do something like, let's append word to this hello, say word, Control S, system.out.println, system.out.println, and then we'll print the StringBuilder. Let's see what the result is going to be. You can see that we'll have hello world on the output because we appended a text on it. We can try using one other method, StringBuilder dot let's get the character at a particular position. Let's say we want to get the character at position 0, right? So when you do that, okay, we need to put it in a system output, system.out.println this. So let's run the program and see. You can see that the character at position 0 is H, right? So that is how the StringBuilder works. So as we are manipulating it and updating it here, it is just updating it and not creating a new object. So you can try other methods on your own end. The link to the full documentation of StringBuilder is attached on the description section of this video. All right. So now, what is the difference between the StringBuilder and the StringBuffer? The difference is just when you are talking about thread. So now, one of the characteristics of a StringBuilder is that it is not safe whenever it is used in a multi-threaded environment. Now, what do you mean by a thread? A thread is actually the smallest unit of a task inside a program that can run same time as other tasks. Let's say, for example, in a real life scenario, you have you are in the kitchen and you want to cook rice, you want to boil hot water, and you want to fry egg, but you just have one burner, right? So it means that since you have one burner, it means that you are going to either start with boiling of hot water. When you are done, that is only time you can start frying your egg. and after frying egg, you now take the next one, which is starting to cook your rice. So it is a single thread, means items run single. You cannot run two items at the same time. But when it is multi-threaded, means you can do these three things at the same time, which is same as having three burners in the kitchen. So you can put your hot water one side. While the hot water is boiling, you can start frying the egg. While you are frying the egg, you can put your rice on the third burner, and everything is running at the same time. Now imagine that you have a text that you want to be updating. Say you created a strange name equal to Petra dot, right? And why these three threads are running, say task 1, then task 2, and task 3, which is same thing as thread, right? They are all threads, right? So why these tasks are running, this one will be updating name, this one will be updating name, and this will be updating name too. And remember, they are running at the same time. So it means that if I say Petra dot is a software company, these two will be updating the same. So if I do it, means you might end up having something like, let's say task 1 is going to put is, task 2 is going to put a, why this is going to put company. This will not be arranged this way. Probably task 3 was able to run to start immediately. It will put C here, right? Then probably task 2 just came in and then come and put A here. This is because it is multi-threaded. This is supposed to be a StringBuilder, sorry, right? If we have this as a StringBuilder, new StringBuilder. So imagine I will have it like this. So if these three tasks are running, this is what you might end up getting because you're using a StringBuilder. But if you don't want this to exist, to happen, then you have to use StringBuffer, right? So StringBuffer solves the problem for us because StringBuffer has a locking feature whereby even if there are three threads as it is here, task 2 can only update StringBuffer only when task 1 is done with its own update, right? So anytime you're updating StringBuffer, it locks it until that particular task is done updating. Then task 2 will automatically update. Then it will lock it too. And wait, when it is done, task 3 will do the same thing. That is the difference. So the difference is the threaded environment. So StringBuffer is best used in a multi-threaded application, while StringBuilder is better off on a single thread, right? And then another difference is that, of course, StringBuilder will be faster. Yes, because it's because this one now will be waiting for each task to finish before it will complete updating. So StringBuilder is actually faster, but works in a single thread. All right. So to recap what we said, the StringBuilder and StringBuffer is a mutable sequence of characters, and it can be modified after creation, unlike the normal traditional string. So if there is any question or confusion, do well to use the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.